When it comes to good makeup, moisturizer is one of your prime aspects of putting on your foundation. If you don't put on moisturizer, the makeup's not gonna sit on the skin. It naturally offers a layer for the foundation to sit on properly, and putting it on dry skin, their skin will peek out. So their pores will look open and it won't go on evenly. So you don't have to use it with a beauty blender. You can put your moisturizer on with your fingers. I'm just doing it for all intents and purposes. And be generous with the moisturizer. The night before a competition, I would have a toothbrush that I brush their lips with, a light toothbrush, put a moisturizer on their skin, and put on a really good moisturizer on their lips. Because if you don't, that's why the lipstick gets really dry. And then in the morning, the first thing I do when she wakes up is I put a little bit more on, and then I dab it off, okay? I do use a beauty blender for foundation. It goes on more even, but feel free to use your fingertips. Okay, foundation coverage will go on way easier with a foundation brush or a beauty blender. Foundation's on. I usually kind of come around the eyes to lighten things up a little bit, and I dab the eyelids as well because it's degreasing the skin for the next layer. Her eyebrow, because we're not really putting too much makeup there, and it's not a greasy area.
So primer just on the eyelid.
Yeah, but don't stress about it. Just don't put too much. Okay. You want it to be pigmented, right? So you want to see the white on your brush. You do a little tap. Sorry. I have no.
Which brush are you using?
I'm using this one from that kit that I showed you, and then I'll look on to see which one's comparable. But okay, so close your eyes. When you swipe on shadow, you want to sort of pat it on first. That's how you're going to keep the pigment. So I'm not actually rubbing across the lid. Close your eye, because you don't want caked on makeup, right? So if you start layering it now, it's going to look yucky very quickly, because again, they sweat. Your base will also hold the pigment in place as well. I'm going to take sort of more, this is like more of a blending brush. It's got better fiber. I will say that the acrylic brushes, the shadow will fly all over your face because it doesn't hold into the brush. You want a sable or something that is more of an authentic bristle, just a personal preference. So I'm just going to swipe her line. And I'm just sort of starting to make my cut crease, and I'm not going all the way across, I'm stopping midway, and I'm blending in my corner to bring the pigment together. It's actually, if you don't put too much effort into it and stress yourself out, it's actually very easy. It's when you're trying to create some perfect line that you're gonna feel like you're making a mess. Okay, so now I'm going to start to give her eye shape. So I'm going into I'll do it on both sides. I'm going into the corner and I'm creating this little sort of angle. Okay, open your eye. It also gives me a line for my liquid liner, which is super important.
So make a triangle and
sort of
sweep it across the crease.
That's why I'm using a small brush, and I'm creating sort of like that little triangle. I'm following the cut crease of the first darker color to about midline. I'm blending it to her eyebrow shape as well. I'll do it on both sides. I'm going to corner and blend together. This is the dark one, print.
And the same
okay?
brush?
No, you can use a Q-tip for all it matters. So close your eyes. So I start like at the quarter mark, and I'm just gonna brush across straight. Okay, I'm not really worrying too much.
Now you're working from the inside out.
Always work from the inside out. It's easier. So I don't care if it's perfect right now because I have tricks. Yep, just on the lash, so sorry. Just on the lash line. I'm telling you, I'm not even trying to do it perfect right this particular second because you guys have to know how to fix it. Take the lighter of the two, so the Havana, and on your line, only where it's dark, not where it's white. I'm gonna go both sides, I promise. See how all of a sudden that line just blends together?
Oh, it fixed the blend.
Yep.
Okay. And then the liner.
I'm gonna blend in my liquid line to that corner to give it that darker appearance. You want the shorter ones first, so you're cutting from the long. Always cut from the long, and on little kids, cutting from the long makes more sense, right? I just use this tiny brush to put on my glue. What I'm doing is I'm just gonna see if this fits her, because I don't even know if it does. I always hold from the outside. There's a little tiny bit of glue on the lashes to begin with, so I'm just holding it for size. So close your eyes for a second. Okay, she's gonna be great with this. You don't just put this on. And make sure your corners, that's the best lash advice I can give, is the inner and outer corners. So I do the 20-second rule. Don't just put this on.
Extra skin.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll stay better. And it's the corners that you want to focus on. So when you're trying to help them dry, like I usually put my fingernail
On the corner?
there. Yep, because that's where it's wet, right? So that's where it's gonna come down. So look at this shoulder. You instruct them to look at the shoulder and look slightly down, not closing their eyes. And that way, you don't have to fight their lashes. It is the best trick in the world. You don't want to use like a big, thick, volumizing mascara on little kids. Their lashes will become like witches and all spiky and stuck together. I find all the L'Oreal mascaras are my favorite. I like them all. Look up, and I just literally swipe this way. Yeah, and so you just go, and I love cornering. This is harder to do for kids. And then just separate them. There. But this is when I'm gonna blend my lash line, okay? So I'm gonna take, yeah, don't move me.
Is this us too?
Yeah, yes, everybody. So just do it quick. Like you don't need to like okay? I'm just now blending my line. Everything's dry. I'm making sure that everything comes together, and then I'm gonna increase my pigment in my white, and then I'm done. And I'm going to pat it on. Open, and I'm gonna corner her eye. And this is going to give her a highlight from stage. And then if any white goes where I don't want it, I'll just blend. So this is only about bringing the lashes and the fake lashes together. I kind of pull down to get underneath, and I just go underneath, and I like this mascara is really light. It doesn't clump, I don't have to worry. Open, 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 open. So you take like a nice fluffy blush brush. So I'm going to swipe up along her cheekbone lightly. I don't put pressure with my brush, I let the pigment stay. Then I'm gonna apple her cheeks, but I don't want circles. I don't wanna see like that rimmed cheek, which we see a ton of. You want it to blend, you do want it to have a definition between skin and color. So I brush along her line gently, and I do apple her, but I'm bringing it along the line. If I feel like I really can't blend my blush, like I feel like I'm just not good at it, you can literally take any brush. I would usually use my beauty blender and draw yourself a line with loose powder. Like, again, this is how they teach makeup artists to get a cut crease on the cheek or a contour, is you can build it in. So those are just little tricks if you feel like you're really struggling. So she's all gelled. I do hair first, by the way. Don't do makeup first. So hairline, and I do a little bit along the edge of the chin. If I use that powder because I wanted to give it, and then I just brush it away. And if you look, it looks like she has like a contour line. So on your first swipe, if you don't feel confident, because again, thanks, Dawn. Again, if you get this on her face, it's on her face. Now I'm going to show you how to clean it off because it's going to happen, but just wipe it off first. Because when you see that I've got to now, I got to drag it along her lips, and now I have to try to make that perfect line